I'm back. It's a familiar drive here and there's some familiar sights. The place is buzzing. They're building, they're extending, they're making things bigger and better here in Florida, which, you know, maybe it's not that better, but it is what it is. Once we get out this close to Yankeetown in Inglis, the signs of encroaching civilization kind of disappear. It's just not a kind of place that they're going to want to build big cement palaces here, so it'll stay pretty rural for quite a long time. And we thank the world for that. So welcome to Season 7 of Fishing the Withlacoochee, Episode 1. We're right back in the saddle, although Mother Nature's been trying to kill all of us, but all three of us have managed to survive. The members of the crew, that is. And so we're heading out to Yankeetown for the first adventure there after Hurricane Milton came through town and kind of messed things up a little bit. We get to see some of that. And there's some news about Lucy. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. But before we get to Yankeetown, gotta stop and get some bait. Okay, there's our bait. We're all set with that. You guys behave for a while, okay? Well, you can kind of tell that something big is happening, or has happened, given the great piles of junk on the curb here. Dead refrigerators. And then look at this. All right, this is pretty amazing. The neighbor's house has been jacked up, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna find a place to park here. Hurricane or no hurricane, look who just showed up at the dock. And I've got, wow, there's all kinds of mud all over the dock here. There's little scraps of dried mud.
There are my glasses, don't step on them.
Where are they?
Right behind you, to your left.
Oh yeah, okay, I won't. Wow. Everything else is still standing.
Grab a rope. Wow, they're doing better than I thought.
You thought they were going to have the whole thing fall over, and it didn't.
Well, it isn't over yet.
Yeah. So the work crew here is jackhammering the lip of the slab off of this thing, kind of neaten it up because that's what's going to be showing to the world. I don't know exactly what they're going to put under here. They probably won't just leave these cinder blocks, but this thing got is now at my eye level. This thing is about 6.5 feet higher than it was before. Now that won't necessarily save you from everything that happens down here right next to the ocean, but it's a vast improvement. So here's how they did it. 1 million jacks. They can probably lift 10 or 20 tons each. Hydraulic jacks, and they're probably hooked up to some kind of computer thing. I've seen them do this with lighthouses. And the whole thing just rises up and nary a scratch anywhere. You can hear all the jackhammering over next door at the house they're putting up in the air. And upon a subsequent inquiry, turns out they're actually going much higher. They're getting it all set up so they can jack it up some more. Hey, Charlie.
Let me get your leash on.
So you're going to be our substitute dock dog for the occasion, eh?
Sit.
You want to go fishing, Charlie? Yeah.
Okay.
No, all right. Not interested in me. He just wants to check the world. So I hope you can hear me over the roar of the machines and the bark of the dog. But here's the water line on the back porch. It made it up to this light fixture here, so that would be if I were standing here, it would be over my head. So there's a new door here to the garage. Can you see the watermark on this wall? It was about 6.5 foot in here. So clearly it made it into this laminate here.
Yep.
Got up a ways. Now, the one thing the captain did that was smart is he came and quickly disconnected the new stove, which he bought after, what was it, Ida or Irma or something last fall? The names for flying fast and hard.
The stove and the fridge were up north, out of the flood.
Yeah, they got trailered out of here. So It was just furniture and drawers, and
The TV went out.
the TV, right. Left the mattresses here piled up on the table here, but unfortunately with the water reaching about here.
The water got above this thermostat. It was right out to here
Yeah,
on the wall. So new thermostat. Air conditioner's working again.
yeah. And I see you're doing some sheetrock replacement here.
New front door.
New front door.
New sheetrock.
No, a nice classy glass here with it too. The sheetrock had to go finally. And apparently the electrics work, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, look at that. So, and this,
Sign a release from the electric company before they would let me turn on my main power.
yeah. So, after having a flood here that was over our heads, this sign now has more meaning. So that's the situation with the main house. And over here is the man cave, which is a 1-bedroom with a kitchen efficiency and so on. And it wasn't even cleaned up after Helene. It got a little bit of a flood with Helene. And the captain hasn't attacked it yet. But there's a rug in here with lots of mud on it. And some bedding material that needs to be chucked. It's you know, it's made of cinder blocks, so the bones are good. But there's way too much mud here on the floor. This white tile, yeah, it's white tile. You can't tell it's white tile. So I drew another short straw here on getting things ready to go. I got to empty the sludge water out of the chain locker here for the anchors. Good old Milton strikes again.
You take my stuff aboard?
Sure. Huh. And away we go. Well, the rest of the neighborhood is running machines to clean up the mess. We're gonna head out and go see what's out in the ocean.
Charlie, come. Charlie, come.
Today's guest fishing dog is Charlie.
There you go. That's what you like.
Belongs to the other brother. There we go.
That's his favorite position.
We're getting away from all the motor noise now too. That's good. Many of you who are familiar with my videos know that one of our true and fast companions is Lucy the fishing dog. Lucy is not here, and Lucy's daddy has the story about that.
Poor Lucy, chasing a ball too vigorously, slipped a disc. Didn't know such things happen to dogs, but she cried out on the first toss of the ball and was instantly paralyzed in both hind legs. And it was very depressing because it was the night of the big storm. The vets were all closed, couldn't take her anywhere that night. So we lay there all night with a paralyzed dog and a storm howling overhead. Next day we took her up for x-rays and the vet said it wasn't as bad as it could be. Didn't require surgery, which would be many thousands of dollars. But with medication she would get some function back, which she has. Now, what, 3 weeks, going on 4 weeks later, she's a 3-legged dog and she can get around the yard and enjoy her life. And the 4th leg is slowly gaining some function. No, not much weight on it yet. Kind of drags, but it's better than it was before. She'll be back. She's enjoying life still.
So here's the kind of crazy stuff the storm did. There are a lot of floating docks here that are on, you know, rings that float up and down the posts. Well, this one floated up and didn't come back down, and it took a canoe with it. And it's got cinder blocks and all kinds of stuff on it. So they've got their work cut out for themselves. You have to hire a crane or something to get that thing off there. It's probably 1,000 pounds. Yikes. And we were cruising up the river, and we immediately spotted a bonded pair of bald eagles. Let's zoom in.
I needed this trip. Look how that tree got chopped off and regrew. That tree looks a little sparse in foliage compared to what it used to be.
Well, the captain has something.
No,
And
I got a log.
we're speculating the something is a log. And it's too bad that log doesn't have fins and sharp teeth. Oh. The log shook the hook.
Ah,
You got your bait back too.
everything's good.
All right. Charlie's maintaining a vigil on everything here. He's got first watch. You see any boats or if you see any pirates coming toward us with their AK-47s blazing away, let us know, Charlie. So we're looking at some pretty heavy-duty storm damage here. This is a private island, if you will. I mean, it all looks like land, but this was specifically a private island. There's signs that say private property, whatever. And there was a house here at one time.
I think there's a for sale sign on the tree up there.
Oh yeah, it was a little family retreat. We've seen somebody out here with a boat and fishing and whatnot, but this dock took the heavies when the 10-foot tidal surge came roaring in here, and just picked that up and set it on its side. So here's a little bit of a tragedy. This boat's been here for a while. Apparently somebody parked it because they couldn't afford it or something. And Ted and Helen of Sailing Liberty fame came out and rescued it and got it off the bottom with pumps and whatnot. And
Fixed it all up.
Did a real solid and fixed it up. And then along came Milton, and it looks like they had it tied to a tree on the other side. Notice there's ropes.
Oh yeah.
So it was tied shore to shore.
Oh yeah.
See all the ropes that you can see them here.
Yep.
And it wasn't enough. The tide came up,
Well,
trees broke.
Pushed it in.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's tied to that tree that's in the middle of...
Yeah, right.
It's tied over here too, and way over there.
Yep. And so there it sits, and it's on the rocks now. Of course, it's low tide right now, so still, it probably took a beating when it was coming down.
Moon, high tide, and maybe they could get it pulled off of there.
And it would promptly sink because of the holes in the hull. Speaking of sinking, we're coming in a little close to this shore here.
11 feet of water off the back.
Oh, all right, we're good. So we're out here at the first Spoils Island, just at the end of the boat launch site here, off the mouth of the Withlacoochee, and there was a lot more vegetation on that Spoils Island, and has been swept. I won't say completely clean, but you could hide in there for a while. We've pulled up on No Fish Island, which we thought about landing on, but the water got to be about 1.5 feet deep, and the propeller was digging into the bottom. So we decided we better get out in a little deeper water and just fish from the platform. Charlie is keeping a careful watch on the captain's success here. So we tried to anchor here in what we thought was deeper water, and we drifted, even though we were on anchor. You can see the chocolate mess as we're backing out of the shallow stuff from prop wash on the bottom. All right, I got a mud minnow here. He's going in. Let's see what happens.
It's right there.
All right, the captain's got it, but I caught it. Nice big trout. It looks like keeper size. Hot diggity. First voyage, and I'm using the mud minnows. Charlie's checking it out. That's a pretty fish.
Yeah, close enough. 15.
And I'm donating it to the captain. Hey, me. Now everybody's switching to my method, which is, you know, a mud minnow, 1.5 foot of line, and a cork, just to see it disappear. Well, the captain's got something, and I'm trying to be both a cinematographer to these stars and a useful crewmate.
That was a big trout.
Is it still a big trout? Yeah. It is a big trout. All right. There you go. Another trout. Boy, everybody was right.
He's a little under.
He's a, woo, that's a little smaller than mine.
Yeah.
Oh, you lost your mud minnow, just went overboard. There he goes. Okay, kids, I'm on to number 2. Nice big trout, but this one looks a little short. I'm gonna measure him, but I think I'm gonna be chucking him back. This guy comes in at about 13.5, so he's going back. All right, I got another one. Little trout. Oh, he got away. Well, I didn't net him, Hey, but I got my bait back. That's important because we're running low on mud minnows here. So my third trout. I'm the leader in the boat. I'm going to win the $200 pot. The fishermen are on their way out. And here comes the giant waves. Whoa. Whee! Well, I'm going for number 4, but the question is, will I be here to fetch him? Because here comes a boat. Whee! Okay. Well, we're moving and grooving. But I think it's about 5 o'clock, and we are heading back in. Because it's 5 o'clock. Because it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. So my brother, the captain, says that's Gilligan's Isle. Okay, didn't know that. So much to my surprise, I think I won the fishing derby. I got 3 trout, one of them got away off my hook, but I had 2 I did boat, and one of them was keepable. So that's not bad. And it's been a bit eye-opening to see what kind of damage was done here in Yankeetown. But everybody's working on making it better. And it'll just keep getting better, slowly. Thanks for being with us. Good night, everybody.
The danger with the water going up is a boat like this might end up on land.
Right.
Tip sideways on the wall or something.
Yep.
If you got ropes going to each wall, keep it centered.
But what if it gets raised so much that the ropes reach their terminus? Because
And they start snapping.
Well, then you have to stay down here on the boat.
yeah, swell. That's a real good feeling.
Well, Helen and Ted stayed on their sailboat through both hurricanes.
Wow.
But there wasn't much wind.
Second one was.
If you got a 4-5 through here, the eye wall, you wouldn't want to be here. It's just too crazy.